tofu ceiling at Chaozhou Hospital suddenly collapses. Residents say there's no hope for China. On Friday, December 6th, the ceiling suddenly fell in front of the pharmacy in the lobby of the first floor of the outpatient building at the new campus of Chaozhou Central Hospital in Guangdong Province, injuring 4 people. Due to the continuous collapse of the mainland real estate market, the quality of new housing construction has declined in recent years, attracting significant attention. The video shows people seeking medical treatment in the hospital queuing to get medicine when a large piece of the ceiling suddenly fell. 4 people were knocked to the ground as they were unable to avoid it. On Friday night, the Central Hospital of Chaozhou City, Guangdong Province, reported that the cause of the ceiling collapse in front of the pharmacy in the outpatient building's first-floor lobby was workers violating regulations. Among the 4 injured, 1 suffered a broken leg and head trauma. In addition to crowded places such as hospitals and factories, the ceilings of residential buildings in mainland China have also frequently collapsed recently. Sometimes there are no warning signs at all, and the ceilings fall abruptly, catching people off guard. This year, it was reported that before moving into new houses in Guangzhou and Zhuzhou, Hunan, the cement ceilings could be broken with a wooden stick and leaked severely. This has drawn widespread attention online to the sharp decline in construction quality following the real estate market's entry into an ice age under the rule of the Communist Party of China. Mainland netizens commented, "This is simply shoddy construction. A big hole appeared just by poking it with a wooden stick. If the people upstairs stamp their feet, the ceiling will fall down." Many believe China has no hope for a good future as long as the CCP remains in power.
Half a month has passed since the collapse of the bridge on the Xi'an section of the Daining Expressway in Shanxi. The CCP claimed that the latest confirmed death toll was 38, with another 24 people missing. The relevant news once again triggered public criticism of shoddy construction. This is a major national traffic project that affects many people, but the construction quality is poor. The project is plagued by embezzlement, and the managers are indifferent and corrupt, only interested in raking in public money. As a result, when the accident happened, it caused great damage to many people's lives. On Friday, August 2, the Shanghai city authorities in Shanxi reported on the July 19 highway bridge collapse in Zhishui County, stating that as of 6 p.m. that day, 25 cars had been confirmed to have fallen into the river, 38 people had been killed, and 24 people were missing. On July 19, heavy rains in Zhishui County triggered mountain torrents. At about 8:40 that night, the bridge on the Daining Expressway in Zhishui County collapsed. At the time of the incident, vehicles passing through the section failed to detect the danger in time in the dark, and one after another fell from the broken bridge into the river and were washed away by the flood. The day after the incident, the local authorities reported to the public that a total of 25 vehicles had fallen. 12 people had died, and 31 people were missing. The latest report shows that the death toll and the number of missing persons have increased by 19. The Chinese Communist Party officials attributed the cause of the accident to heavy rain and mountain torrents. However, the outside world questioned why this highway bridge, which had been in use for only 6 years, collapsed when other bridges and sections of roads near the accident site also suffered heavy rain and floods but did not collapse. In the final analysis, it is still a problem of engineering quality. Under the relevant reports of the mainland media, some Chinese netizens left messages saying that so much time has passed, and the 24 missing people can basically be regarded as dead, which means that at least 62 people died in this bridge collapse. A netizen in Nanchang City posted 2 angry emojis in a row and asked, "Did Baidu use black and white photos to mourn?" A netizen in Nanjing City then replied, "Hamas is his father, not the victims of the bridge collapse." A Shanghai netizen commented, "It will be forgotten in 2 days, as if it never happened." Another netizen replied, "A sigh." China's alarming tofu drag construction. building speed is terrible.
Under the CCP's regime, substandard construction practices, known as tofu dreg, are widespread in China. This term describes buildings constructed with poor workmanship, resulting in low quality or even total structural failure. Online footage captured a piece of marble falling from a building in Tianjin. Fortunately, there were no injuries. In the Chinese real estate market, most houses, particularly those built after 2015, are of poor quality. Many citizens have paid exorbitant prices for substandard homes. The notion of these houses lasting 70 years is almost laughable. It would be astonishing if they endured that long. In reality, significant renovations will likely be necessary after just 30 years, and some issues may be irreparable. This grim outlook is well-founded. China's infrastructure, in general, suffers from poor quality. A devastating house collapse in Wenzhou resulted in the tragic deaths of 4 people, with some desperately fleeing as the structure crumbled. In Zhanghai District, Jiangmen, Guangdong, a house near a bustling market also collapsed, adding to the region's alarming trend of structural failures. In Tianjin, a gas explosion led to the collapse of a building within a community. The extent of the destruction from a single gas explosion raises serious concerns about the construction quality and safety of these homes. Since the turn of the millennium, the skyrocketing real estate prices have turned the market into a hotbed for exorbitant profits. Unfortunately, the lengthy construction timelines of 2 to 3 years have magnified the industry's flaws, making it challenging to maintain quality control in the rush to attract buyers. Eager property owners, lured by the promise of quick deeds, often compromise on standards and end up with subpar units. As prices soared to unprecedented heights, developers began prioritizing profit margins over construction standards. Exploiting market dynamics, these profit-driven entities deliberately ignored defects, confident that flaws would go unnoticed during resales. This unscrupulous approach left unsuspecting buyers at the mercy of developers who knew that dissatisfied customers had little leverage, especially when issues seemed minor. The real estate landscape thus became rife with compromised integrity, with buyers navigating a perilous terrain where their concerns were systematically disregarded. In China, collapsing buildings are unfortunately not uncommon. For instance, the slow protection of Xi'an community in Sichuan collapsed, causing severe damage to the building. The quality of China's buildings and infrastructure is so poor that even rain can lead to collapses, highlighting the dire state of construction standards in the country. On May 27, 2024, one unit of a building in a neighborhood in Anhui province collapsed, killing at least 4 people. One Nesson stated, "The quality of the building won't last long enough to finish the mortgage." Another lamented, "This one collapsed today, and the other will collapse tomorrow." I've spent nearly all of my life savings to buy a home under the CCP's rule. People spend so much money on homes, but the quality is so poor. Dramatic online footage reveals the collapse of a building in Anhui province, where the top-floor balcony of a house suddenly crumbled, releasing a cloud of smoke. This incident occurred on the evening of June 11, 2024, following a heavy downpour. The exterior wall of a 30-story building fell off, damaging vehicles parked on the street below. The fact that only rain caused such damage raises serious concerns about the building's construction quality. On May 29, 2024, a user commented on X, describing these incidents as tofu dreg projects, terms used for corruption-driven constructions under criminal syndicates, which are premeditated and executed without fear of repercussions. Nissan posted a video showing a man on a rooftop, capturing the moment when the external wall of a building detached, clearly showcasing the poor construction quality. Back in February 2021, a neighborhood under construction in Beijing faced similar issues, including leaking roofs and cracked walls. The cement on the walls was so weak that it could be crushed by hand. A video showed a resident, suspecting poor quality, using a tool resembling a screwdriver to dig through the roof. Shockingly, it turned out there was no cement, only dirt. These incidents highlight the rampant issues of substandard construction practices and corruption, raising alarms about the safety and durability of buildings in China. A citizen recorded an incident where a building's surface was blown off by the wind and crashed directly onto the sidewalk. On November 23, 2023, a residential building in Anhui Province suddenly lost its exterior wall. The veneer fell to the ground, causing pedestrians to scream in fear. The local neighborhood committee casually stated that the property management company had been informed. On the afternoon of April 27, 2024, another residential building developed a large crack from top to bottom, causing one side to tilt. Witnesses reported that the crack started at 10 cm and quickly expanded to a meter, accompanied by a strong smell of gas. The footage reveals the sound of the building cracking and pieces of the staircase falling. People screamed in terror, with one person asking, "Is it collapsing?" The scene was chaotic, and someone urgently shouted, "Get out!" The following day, the local government issued a report on the incident, confirming that the building was cracked and tilted. They described the entire structure as dangerously tilted but mentioned that residents had been evacuated and resettled more than half a year ago, in August 2022. The cracked building was vacant and slated for demolition. Mainland Chinese media personality Teacher Wang Daily questioned why the building wasn't reinforced or demolished earlier, given its known danger. Leaving it standing is like leaving a ticking bomb, he argued. Even though the building is empty, adjacent buildings are still occupied, putting other residents at risk. The cracks are rapidly growing, indicating that the building continues to tilt. If it collapses, the consequences will be dire.